Hey everyone. So I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit, just about some stuff. So let's talk about Hearthstone. Let's talk about Hearthstone. That's what I want to talk about. So with Hearthstone, as you guys know, I've been playing this game since, well, geez, since this was announced, as a closed beta. I've been playing this game since they brought out that closed beta. I was part of that whole thing, and I sort of grew up playing Magic the Gathering, grew up playing stuff like that, Pokemon. Still got a lot of my cards. I still got plenty of Magic cards. I just don't. I don't have anybody to play with that. With Hearthstone, I've always sort of kept playing that over the years, and just more recently, you guys know what's been going on. I've been talking about it a lot, and the crazy thing is, I think so as far as more recently, I've noticed a couple of things that it almost seems like they are actually trying to do something about this. Like, they are actually actively trying to do something about the situation in Hearthstone and the things that we've discussed, as far as, getting on there and looking a certain way, just because basically what happens is I have a long history of doing really well on stream. I'll win like 15 games. That actually happened the one time. What was 15? It was something ridiculous. I'll win a lot of games in a row. And then the next stream I play, I'll do terrible. And that has been the recurring pattern for pretty much the entire time I've been playing Hearthstone on stream. Not off stream, but on stream. And also there's also some other telltale signs of why it happens when it does and stuff like that. So I do believe, I do have evidence. I have seen actual evidence on my end of things that they've been actively trying to figure out what's actually causing this to happen so much, and I appreciate that. That's good. That's a good sign. That means they do care that Hearthstone is a game that we love to play, and that it shouldn't be treated just like a book of microtransactions. That's what I'm concerned about, guys. That every time, it's just a game of microtransactions. Who can grind for the best meta deck, and that whatever broken one is out this particular expansion, and it should be that way. And I think they've been working at that stuff, but we're not necessarily talking about that either. We're talking about the other stuff, all the fishy stuff. You guys know. And I'll admit that last stream I played, I went back and looked at it, and I actually realized I wasn't having really as much of an issue with the randomization as I had thought. It's just because we had such an issue with that previously. It was sort of playing tricks on me. However, that doesn't mean that I don't think that there wasn't something still going on there, because there were some weird things happening. I do think that I have a definitive way to, sort of stop, basically, at least try to prevent, what's been happening and stuff like that. And I think I do have that way down and stuff like that. And like I said, with Hearthstone, it's just been the obvious thing where I will have I'll work on something really hard. I'll work on a deck and learn a deck really hard, play it all stream, do really well with it. I'll even possibly do really well with it on stream. I'll win like maybe 7, 8 games, 10, 12 games in a row on stream. And then the next stream I'll play, I'll just do really badly and draw really badly the whole stream. And like we're talking like game breaking, like bad, like, all high cost stuff, no coin, not getting 4 cards, that, not getting that coin. Basically, just all the worst possible scenarios you could imagine. And then we also see possible in-game hacks too, where people are pausing animations, preventing me from attacking with them and things like that. So that we've actually seen on stream, where somebody actually, remember Prison of Yog, when that came out, we had some guys that got spawned under the board. I think Suffice was in that stream too. He flat out saw it, where there was guys that were outlined in green, and I could not even attack with them. I couldn't click on them to attack with them, and that's a physical rule in the game that's being broken. Basically, if they're outlined in green, I can attack with them. And yeah, they had charge or rush or whatever it was, so I could use them that turn, and I would have won. Except they made it so that I could not physically click them. So that's a hack known as like pause animations or something like that. They're basically pausing that animation so that you can't interact or click on that token on the battlefield to interact with it, essentially. So we've seen that physically happen on the stream before, where we've had these definitive in-game hacks happen to us. So that's why it's really, really hard to tell, like who's doing what. And like every time I get like just that same Death Knight deck where the guy's just wasting my time roping out and stuff, I have to, feel a certain way about that, because it just happens so often that we see a spam account that's doing those types of things. So I do feel bad that I initially sort of jumped to conclusions with other people that use the rope in Hearthstone. While that is annoying, there are ways of dealing with that annoyance, and I will try to sort of, process with reporting people. I feel like it's pretty obvious sometimes. So understand that a lot of those times that we've reported people, I think it's pretty obvious, and that last time, just know that that seemed pretty obvious too. But I will, like I said, I will admit that it didn't seem the randomization was the problem. It just seemed like there was some other real weird things going on with that guy. I think intentionally deranking, that sort of thing. I've seen that a lot, actually. What's basically, anytime somebody would choose to not do something on a turn, like maybe just like end their turn where they could have obviously done something or something like that, start being a little suspicious of things like that, because like in Hearthstone, giving up an entire turn honestly means the whole game sometimes. So for somebody to do that, like you would know that's weird. And yeah, like, all right, new player and stuff like that. So that's why I said, all right, I'll try to be a little bit more diligent about showing you guys my due process when I do that, and maybe not necessarily draw so much attention to it. I feel bad if I draw a lot of attention to it too, and but at the same time, I do think that it is a real problem. So that's why I've talked about it before so much. But I miss the game. I really do, and I really miss just playing with the good people that actually do play the game, the people that are really fun to play with. I love a lot of these Hearthstone players that just come out of nowhere with their really hilarious personalities. Like, some of these guys are really funny. And so like that's actually a lot of like why I really wanted to start playing Hearthstone too with the esports. I really wanted to just maybe network with somebody and have and just have fun with it. But it's just the sort of thing where like the moment that I get on stream and I start doing this stuff, that's when all the weird stuff happens. It really is just every time I have a really good stream, the very next one, it's like like the game acts totally different. The game has been rigged, the game's been bugged, the game's just really messed up, and it's very obvious. And it's just because the last time I played the game, I played it really well on stream. And so, like this is yeah, for sure. This is a game loaded with microtransactions, loaded with things like that, in-game things, in-game currencies and stuff. So it's going to be loaded with, bots and things like that scammers use to try to get people and all that. So, I mean, like that's just a given. But just how many there are, it really is staggering. It really is, just how many there are because it's a big game. So, and we have that whole issue where it got banned in certain areas of the world because hacking was so bad. So, I mean, just realize where Hearthstone's been and the history it has, behind it, and moving forward. That's where I'm at with this stuff. Is do I want to keep doing this? Yes, I do, because I love it and I miss it. But at the same time, yeah, like it's really like why would I put time into something where the next time I get on, the whole game just acts totally different, and I can't count on learning. You know what I mean? I can't count on actually like being good at the game and then winning. You can't do that anymore with this, where it's you can count on basic functions of the game working how they always used to work, because you have all this corruption happening from well, basically anytime somebody does that, even tries, that can actually cause data corruption for files and stuff like that until there's a new update. Yeah, I mean, like it's really comes down to something that simple, and this can cause problems for the game. Now, if they're aware of it, they can do active things and stuff like that. But like active patching. But like, there's really like they don't really do that. That's the point. Is like they're not doing this. It's so hard to do that, because you get like that requires so much resource to do that type of thing. So you wouldn't really do it that way. Like on Blizzard's end, like I get it. Like this sort of thing, like they can't be spending resources like wasting their time. Like this is happening a lot. So what do they do? And I think that's kind of where they're coming from. Like it took a long time for them to just try to figure out kind of how to handle this, what to do about it. And also, like not to. I mean, honestly, if I was in their position, I wouldn't want to draw a lot of attention to it either. You know what I mean? Like, I really wouldn't. I would not want to draw a lot of attention to that sort of thing, because it's like well, if you have your own company and that's like causing these problems, and it's like, well, you want to just fix the problem. You don't want to draw attention to the problem and fix it. So it's that's the point. Is like I get what they're saying. They just kind of want to fix it and just kind of make the problem go away. But it's like, well, really, how do we do that? And so I do appreciate that. It seems like at this point they are trying. I hope we can move forward. So I just wanted you guys to be aware where I was at with Hearthstone. I do miss it. I do like it. I definitely want to continue working hard at it. I needed, I think, to remember also what I loved about the game too, because sometimes coming back to the game can be a bit of a challenge, because there's so many times where we've had really, really sus things happen, and then right on stream too. And there's so many game hacks that have happened to me on stream. At least half a dozen right on stream. So I just and like a few years ago when I was being held back constantly from hitting the anything above gold, it's just you have to get the legend, and it's just every time I announce this and I sort of go bold, it's very obvious to me that that's the point, is that scammers are trolls, and I've always said so. That's the point. The more that you go bold and you say, I'm going to do this thing, they reach out and do everything they can to try to control you and control that thing. They want to be trolls. So then they show up right at the point that they think they're controlling it, and they're sort of causing problems for the game, and then they show up in chat right then, and they're like, you suck, or you're bad, or like just like basically just spamming. It's obvious. And like we've had these issues a lot in the past where it took us a while. Truthfully, this is halfway a bit. What just look into what I loved about Hearthstone in the first place, and that was playing Magic the Gathering, building decks. And you guys, I have that deck building I have that deck building guide that I made for you guys, that beginner's guide. People really seem to like that. So let's maybe do something together about this, and I'll see you guys soon.